Right, so Medvedev beats Sinner in the Miami Open final to win his first Miami Masters 1000 tournament. And unfortunately today, for all you Sinner fans, Sinner could not bring the level that he displayed in that Alcaraz match, because he had to call the trainer in the first set and he didn't look like himself. The power of the baseline wasn't quite able to break through Medvedev's defence, and he overall just played a worse match than he did against Alcaraz in the semi-final. However, take nothing away from Medvedev, he has reached he's won 4 tournaments this year from 5 finals made, including back-to-back finals in the Sunshine Double. So he's had the best record in the Sunshine Double, and you got to say he is in red hot form on these hard courts now, because he's won 19 different ATP tournaments and 18 of them have been on hard court, and they've all been different tournaments as well, so he can basically quite adapt well to the different hard courts, well, except Indian Wells of course, because he's a hard court specialist and that isn't a hard court apparently. But yeah, so Medvedev is in red hot form. It's good to see him back. Actually, we need more top contenders in the men's tennis to keep it interesting. Who knows, this big 3 floating around, or a replacement big 3 of Rune, Sinner, Alcaraz. I don't know, you could throw Medvedev in there even though he's not quite as young, because him, Sinner, Alcaraz currently have been having a good few matches in the last couple of weeks, even though Medvedev is like 8 years older than them or something like that. How old's Medvedev now? Like 27? So yeah. So maybe there will be a mix of big 3s depending on surface, for example. But also, that was my short piece on Medvedev beating Sinner. Just a quick reaction. Now this next bit was recorded after the Sinner Alcaraz match, because I didn't upload it in time, but it was just like a little reaction to that match as well as predictions for the final. I did get my prediction wrong. I thought Medvedev was going to win a tiebreak, and I thought it was going to be 3 sets, so you can react to it now. But yeah. So in the semi-finals of the Miami Open, Sinner takes out Alcaraz to progress onto the final against Medvedev, and that was a brilliant match. Very high quality, with both players playing some exceptional tennis. Unfortunately, it couldn't be sustained for the whole period of time, as Alcaraz did appear to be cramping in the 3rd set, and he did seem to have a slight injury due to his falling on his hand in the 2nd set, and therefore he wasn't able to perform optimally throughout the whole match. However, extremely high level from Sinner. It was amazing. The shot making, the power, it was all just superb by his standards. And overall, just a great match. So the head-to-head now is tied at even. And at Indian Wells, the reason why Sinner performed less optimally than he did in this match was basically down to his serving. He had a very off day with his serve, but today, because Miami is a quicker court than Indian Wells at least, it was more server-friendly conditions, and therefore Sinner could really exploit his serve, while at the same time whacking the return off the Alcaraz serve, which really gave him the opportunity to have lots of break opportunities. And we'll see early on in the 1st set when he led by 4-1, despite the fact that Alcaraz broke back twice, and then Sinner had to stop Alcaraz from serving out the set at 6-5 to force the tie break, which Alcaraz did win. However, beyond that, Sinner looked like the more dominant player, because his power just seemed to overwhelm Alcaraz throughout the 2nd and 3rd set. But enough about the semi-final, because, well, it's already happened. Now we're looking forward to the final against Medvedev and Sinner. So obviously there'll be a rematch of a final earlier on in the year in Rotterdam. However, that was on an indoor hard court, not on an outdoor hard court, especially a temporary one as well. So I guess the court will be even more different than another outdoor hard court. So what will Sinner have to do this time to adjust to the Medvedev train? Because both of these guys are in red hot form. Both Sinner, Alcaraz and Medvedev, you could argue, are the top 3 players in the world currently, with the absence of Djokovic and Nadal, who were basically dominating the tour last year, except for Alcaraz. So it seems to believe that Sinner needs to stop hitting so many backhands all the time, because he was going backhand to backhand quite a lot in that Rotterdam final. But Medvedev, he loves hitting backhands. Like, he'd rather hit a backhand than a forehand, because it's just so consistent and so well timed and so low and deep and penetrating. So Sinner really has to take his backhand down the line, find the Medvedev forehand, because although the Medvedev forehand is still good, he can't really absorb pace and redirect like his backhand can. So Sinner really needs to find the Medvedev forehand and of course use his own forehand. Like he needs to hit more forehands than backhands. It can't be a repeat of the shot tally like it was in the Rotterdam final. But I do think Medvedev might have the slight edge, purely based on the fact that he's had more rest, obviously, because the match was played beforehand, as well as he might not have the pressure that Sinner has, because Sinner has not won a Masters 1000 yet. And the only final he reached was Miami in 2021. So 2 years later, his second Masters 1000 final, whereas Medvedev has reached a lot more Masters 1000 finals. Obviously, all the hardcourt Masters 1000s finals Medvedev has reached. But he's also, like, because he's older, he has the experience. He knows what to do. He can switch up his game, potentially, that Sinner might not be able to do just yet because he's so young. So I do have Medvedev to win in a 3, like the Rotterdam final. However, I do think the scoreline will be a lot closer. Like, although the Rotterdam final was close, the second and third set scoreline wasn't that close in terms for Sinner. But I do think that this could potentially go down to some tie breaks, where Medvedev will win at least one tie break, I'm predicting. So yeah, Medvedev in 3 in the Miami final. Unfortunately, Carlos Alcaraz could not win the Sunshine Double without dropping a set. He did win 21 sets straight, which was an insane achievement. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching and listening. Take care and peace.